And we're live. Hey, welcome to another episode of sXizie Sports. And today I'm joined by sXizie and Cheval. Gentlemen, how are you guys?
No, I'm I'm good. I'm good. I'm very good. How's Shivar
Yeah,
doing?
yeah.
I think
How's Cheval, dude?
you guys are
We
not
we
allowed
help.
to ask me that question until the season is over. Even then, maybe
Ah,
you can ask me again, maybe December sometime,
nah.
depending on whether I take leave or not. But yeah, for the rest of the season, don't ask me how I am.
I think
No, guys, look,
you're gonna need your leave days going forward for the season's loading.
yeah,
100%.
there's a few days that I'm already eyeing. I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna watch football on that day and nothing else.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
yeah,
um, no, look, I'm good. Yeah, I mean,
What?
so
It's almost like you're trying to convince yourself that you're good.
guys,
For context, sorry, for
yes.
context for context for all the new viewers, Shivar is
Yeah.
a huge Liverpool fan. He's a diehard fan. If he
Die
were to
hard.
get a tattoo, he will get a tattoo that says he never walks alone.
Yeah,
I'm actually
100%.
so that's actually one of the things, right? I've wanted a tattoo, but
Mhm.
I had no idea what I wanted and where I wanted it and all of that stuff.
So
But
so Jurgen
after
Klopp's middle
Friday,
name. Yeah.
it's I actually want. Okay, I'm
Right.
not 100% yet, but it's got to be his quote about we have to turn from doubters to believers. I think that's the
Yeah.
tattoo that I'm gonna get.
No,
Um,
man, just tattoo his middle name. You know his middle name, by the way.
Norbit, Norbit. I know his middle name. I know his date of birth. I know the city he grew up in. Guys,
Damn.
come on,
Yo, that's deep,
come on.
Siobhan. That
So
that
I
is
say,
deep.
I honestly say, just tattoo his middle name like somewhere, like in the office, everyone can see, and all the it'll
Right
be a
here.
personal joke. All the Liverpool fans will know that you're a diehard fan. Come on.
Yeah, like a down.
Look,
Yeah.
there's this. I have two responses to Seatley. Right, the first response is literally. This doesn't really apply to you because I think you did have this, but if you had our manager, you would understand what we're going through right now. You've never had a manager like ours. So
I did. I
you
did.
completely you did not. You did
Mm-mm.
not.
Okay.
Didn't sit there.
You did
Okay.
not.
So okay,
X look,
let me
you had Ferguson, right?
Mm.
Which is the same. It's the same. The only difference is he had wanted to retire previously and then he came
Mm.
back and pulled another 10 years and he was in his 70s. So you kind of saw it. I mean, you knew it was coming. Like when he eventually announced it, oh, you were shocked, but it was not like it was like, oh shit, and then yeah, it makes sense, right?
Mm.
With this, it's totally, totally out of the blue. Like,
Yeah.
and then my second response is, and this is the one that makes absolutely no sense, and I can't explain it, and it's a question that I've been asked the whole weekend, but he's the coach. It's not like a player is leaving. What's going on here? And
Mm.
my answer was always, you wouldn't get it. It it literally feels like there's been a death in the family. Like this whole weekend has just been, trying to wrap your head around it. Um,
and
people
the
start talking
implications
about
of leaving.
it's just from him leaving, yes, and people try to talk about who's going to replace him, and I haven't even put much thought into it because for me, it's I don't want to see anybody else in the dugout. Like I'm still at that stage, right?
Mm.
Denial.
Uh, Yeah, well, denial is the first step, right? But I mean, I think as a fan base, we have accepted it. Like he's going to leave. We understand his reasons.
Okay.
He
So
he
back.
actually came.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait, CCN. Let Shabazz speak, bro. Let him speak. Let him.
No, because
This is a
he
therapy
took a shot
session.
at me, so that's why I'm very
Nah,
irritated. But it's
you don't
go
take
for it.
shots.
Take
We
take take your
therapists
shot.
here.
Take your
We
shot,
therapists
Sihle.
here.
Take
I
your
won't.
shot.
No,
I won't. I
Shiva,
won't.
Shiva, bro. I'm your therapist. You got. I've got my book here. I'm writing. I'm drawing pictures of butterflies and everything.
You're gonna ask me
Express
how did that
yourself.
make me feel and to elaborate on shit.
Yeah, that's exactly that stuff, bro. But please proceed.
Uh, I've even forgot where my train of thought was. So Sishle, take your shot and then I will
Yeah.
continue
No,
after
man.
you've taken your shot because
No. I, honestly, I get where you are, and it's not going to be taking any shots. The man literally took a side that has always had potential, and he just freaking unleashed that beast of a. And the thing is, it's not just it's him taking it's not just him taking average players and making them world class beaters and the fans themselves. I mean, Anfield was a great place to be, but like Anfield right now is something else. Like you go to Anfield, you know there's a 12 men that's like freaking, especially if you get the bad luck of the draw and second half they get to shoot at what's the other end,
it's the
the
cop end.
Cop it.
But
the cop end, yes. And if they're attacking the cop end, you're done for. Like literally, this a simple touch is like celebrated, like the whole world is going freaking ape shit. And I think the one attribute I love with Klopp is I think football is in him. He's one of those where he's a manager, like he like manages his players. And we always argue about this micromanaging that it doesn't work, but like he's one of those where from like freaking he takes these kids and he grooms them and he takes these players that have potential. Salah is a failed Chelsea player. Okay, sure, fine. Chelsea's not the best side to use as failed players, for failed players. But like Salah, he took Van Dijk from Southampton. Van Dijk was decent at Southampton, but when he moved over Anfield, he was something else. There was, I think, 2 seasons where Van Dijk was that missing piece. And then you had a keeper who had a horror show in Champions League final. And the manager went in and said, we're going to address this. Brought in probably currently one of the top 3, top 4 keepers in the world. And
I would actually argue number 1.
I don't want to argue because I don't think the time is right to argue as to who's the best keeper and whatnot. But I'm just recognizing that your keeper is got attributes that most keepers don't have, distribution wise. He's got how many goals? And these are not goals from penalties. Sorry, he's got how many assists? So that in itself, and the energy levels that he has Liverpool playing at, unheard of. And
I think he has more assists at Old Trafford than Anthony, or something like that.
No, man.
Something along those lines. He's got
This
one.
Is therapy,
Okay. I apologize. Continue, Zile. Continue.
Yeah, I feel sorry for, and I know it's way too early to be speaking about who's the replacement, but I think that conversation has to be had sooner than later. The reason being, when I was reading his statement, he says he's going to be leaving end of, not this season, but at end of the year, end of 2024. So
no,
whoever,
end of the season. End of the season.
End of the season.
End of the
Okay.
season. Our
So
last game in May, or if we make it to the Europa League final, that will be his last game.
Okay, so whoever the conversation has to be had, you give him enough time. Liverpool has got a style of play that they've been playing for the past. How long has it been? 9, 8 years?
Almost 9 years.
Almost 9 years.
So for 8 years, the fans recognize a certain style of football. So I feel sorry for whoever is coming in, because it means one of 2 things. Either they take over the identity of the club as is, or they come in and instill their own identity, which is going to take a bit of time. And in that taking time, does a person have time?
So here's where you're not. This is why I say you don't get it, right? Because you're considering all of these football reasons and who should the next manager be, and you're being very logical, and this is exactly how we would be for literally any other manager in the league right now. You would say, where to from here? What happens with the club? But like honestly, our fan base is not even thinking that. We're just thinking, okay, on after we heard this, we were just thinking, great. So that means Norwich comes over, and we've got to deck them. We've got to absolutely deck Norwich when they come over, and we did that. And our next game is hello, our next game is
Yeah,
Chelsea.
yeah,
That's going
on
to be a
Wednesday.
draw. That's going to be a draw because it's just tradition at this point. I don't remember the
Yeah,
last
it
time there
is.
was an actual
So,
result in
so
that
in me
fixture, but
saying,
it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be the same thing. It's the fans are not thinking like it's not our job to think that. Like we have owners, we have let them worry about who the next manager is going to be. That's their headache. Our job is to actually make sure, like, do whatever we can to make sure that this guy leaves us on a high. And in his first interview, he said, it doesn't matter what people say when you come in, it's more important what they
matters when
say
you
when you
leave.
leave.
Yeah,
And now he's leaving, and like there isn't, as I said, it feels like there's a death in the family, right? I know it doesn't make sense, it doesn't quite equate, but I've never felt anything other than when there was a death in the family. So it's the only thing I can like line it up with.
and
um
remember how I started the conversation? I said on the new manager, I said it might not appear to be the right time, but unfortunately, it's a conversation that has to be had.
I think
Mm.
I think that's why he
So
actually came out
so
with the
let me go back to you saying that I don't get it. His famous quote that you think of having a tat on is you have to change the doubters into believers. When Mourinho's first stint after winning Champions League with Benny, when he came over at Chelsea, everyone just there was still question
Skeptical.
marks around that. Yeah,
Yeah.
there were okay, sure, fine. You've got your billions. What does that mean? Because you could be an Everton who've gone in and snorted billions and have nothing to show for it. And then
Yeah.
Mourinho went and he became the focal point in the in the squad, where he went and he announced that in front of everybody that he's the special one. No manager in English league has ever come through so arrogantly. So sure, fine, you've got a few managers that are arrogant, but for him to come in and say, well, I'm the special one, that in itself spoke volumes. And for me, that was like, oh, it was unheard of. And then Stamford Bridge, I think he went on a 2, if not 3 season run where we didn't lose a game at the bridge. So that in itself, I understand the effect of one man in a club. Sure, fine. Klopp had a longer stint at the club, and unfortunately, Jose lost the dressing room at some point and he got fired. But I understand the mindset where you were, because I promise you, when he got fired, oh sorry, when Mourinho got fired first time round, it was one of those where you could see it coming because the results weren't coming. But with you, it's the opposite. You guys are going for freaking 4 trophies this season again.
Yeah.
So there was no writing in the wall that, hey, the performance is going down, or there's none of that. And X, I'll give you a moment. I'll give you time just now. And it just feels like this is the extra motivation that the players need.
By the
Yeah.
way, all you guys that are laughing at me, Klopp basically did tell all of you to fuck off, right? So
Yeah.
comes off the back of global warming. It cost him that last loss. What last loss? Which
Yeah,
last loss? Spurs, because that's the only game we lost this season, and
yeah.
we all know what happened in that game. But anyway, Sicily, to your point, right? Again, this is why I say you're not getting it, because I don't think so. Maybe,
I've
but he
told
did
it after
say
after,
Actually, we'll
after the
discuss.
Euros.
You
he
know
did
what? You know
say
what?
for
Let's
a
not.
year that he wasn't going to touch any
Yeah.
country or any club. But anyway, to your
Yeah.
point, Sicily, again, you went and you spoke about the football side of things, right? Klopp didn't just change our football; he literally brought Liverpool back to the stories I heard growing up, right?
Mm.
In that first press conference, Jose came and said, "I am the special one," and like I'm never going to say anything against Jose. He's one of my favorite managers, actually probably my second favorite manager. But Jose came in. He said he was a special one, and then he delivered on the pitch. Klopp came in and he said, and here's the thing, he didn't say that he was going to change us from doubters to believers. He said that Liverpool fans need to change from doubters to believers. He put that responsibility on us. And even though he put that responsibility on us, I mean, you guys know me, I am like the ultimate cynic. Like, I do not readily believe in anything. But
Yeah.
there I was 3-0 down after the Camp Nou saying we were better than these guys, and if they didn't have Lionel Messi, we would have beaten them. And then we go and win it. And there I was, who just lost the league on 97 points, coming back and thinking, you know what? If we get ahead of City early, we can stay ahead of them. Like, that was never me before. And now, okay, you've all heard me say City are favorites, City are favorites. Like, guys, X, you know this. This is just me trying to be a little bit diplomatic here. Every
Yeah.
single game I go into, I go in thinking that we can win. And the first time I noticed this was it was when that 100-point season of Cities,
Yeah.
where they were on this unbeaten run. They were hitting teams left and right 5-0, and then they were coming to Anfield, and I found myself putting the captain's armband in FPL on Salah. And
Yeah.
the next day, I couldn't. Like, my brother asked me, "What were you thinking? Why did you put it on Salah?" And I'm like, I don't know. I knew we were going to beat them, and we hammered them in that game. And
Mm.
that's literally what he did, right? Take away the trophies, take away the football, take away everything that is logically, or that is logically the correct way to look at it. He literally turned that entire club from a club that were not reaching their potential, had some good players, and like nothing really changed aside from the players now were willing to run through brick walls for him. And I know there's always the saying, as soon as you say a player works hard, it means that he's not a good player. But find me a Liverpool player under Klopp who did not run through a brick wall for him. I see our centre halves being like some of the most hardest working players on the pitch. And it's something that I've always said, our centre backs work too hard. But I mean, look at what we achieved with that. Every single one of those players would honestly jump in front of a train if it was for him, and you see that every single week. And it's not even tactics, or Klopp's gone, Pep next, eras come to an end, Eric Ten Hag. My guy, I wouldn't be surprised if Eric goes before the other two, the way things are
Yeah.
going.
It'll be
So,
I
exciting.
think
Yeah, that's what
oh,
we want, bro. That's what
yeah,
we
I think
want.
what's
I'll
gonna
be
get
very
Eric
excited if that happens.
what's gonna get Eric fired is his
Let's
the
not
way that he
segue.
treats the
Hey,
team.
see,
All
let's
right.
not segue. This is Klopp. This is about a real manager. We're talking about a real Don, a real G. Let's not speak about Ten Hag. Let's talk about the man Klopp. Because even as a United fan, I have a lot of I respect the man, not just only of what he's done for Liverpool, but even for Dortmund. Remember that Dortmund team, guys? It was filled with unknowns. Robert Lewandowski was an unknown. Marco Reus was an unknown. Gundogan, unknown. Matt Hummels, unknown. Like the list goes on. Shinji Kagawa came to United to even win a trophy for us. I mean, it was the Premier League title in Fergie's last campaign. You know, that's one thing I like about Jurgen Klopp. You know, as a United fan, is that he's a person who's just with the little. You know, you don't need to give this guy mad racks like a Mourinho per se. He's able to, scout and see talent. And I'm not sure if he's alone in this. Maybe he's got a team behind him. But Shiva, I also want to ask, does that team leave you guys?
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's what happened with United.
So
When
it
Fergie left, everyone left with Fergie. David Gill
so the
left with Fergie.
coaching staff
Yeah,
is leaving. We don't really have
yeah.
a director of football. There's some rumors that Edwards is going to come back. I don't know about that. I don't think it's true.
Yeah.
But his assistant manager, the head of fitness or something, and two other guys are also leaving, and then Schmatka is leaving. But Schmatka was kind of just like a fill-in because we lost Julian Ward as our sporting director. So Schmatka was just trying to fill in for the previous window. That I think that would have happened regardless anyway.
Yeah.
So the backroom staff is leaving, but in terms of the FSG peeps behind him, they're all staying, and FSG got the decision spot on with hiring Klopp. Like in
Yeah.
hindsight, it looks like the easiest decision ever, but
But
they also had to time it properly. Ancelotti was in the running, so was Simeone. Um, they absolutely hit the nail on the head there. Um, so the argument is maybe they'll make the right decision again. What the right decision is, I've been hearing Xavi Alonso. I think that's an emotional one. I think it's because we're losing someone that's like built in to this club's history permanently. We kind of want a replacement to be someone who has the knowledge of the history. He's doing very well, but I just think there's a little bit too much emotion from the fan base there. De Zerbi is another one that I'm hearing. I also have my worries there. Look, and then okay, so the third one, before I make my point, the third one was the Dan. He's been out for a while though. Look, I wouldn't be, maybe this is the best way to explain it. I wouldn't be unhappy with any one of the three of them, but I would only be happy with Jurgen Klopp. So whatever we do, it's going to be a downgrade, right?
How do you feel about Diego? Because I saw he's
No,
also on your short
nah,
list.
I don't think
Simeone.
it's the here's
But he's
another
a
thing
good
you
coach, though.
wouldn't get, right? No, but
Yeah.
it's another thing. Like you just you won't get it because as a Chelsea
But
fan, you look at it, and I've had this conversation with other Chelsea fans as well, right? As a Chelsea
Yeah.
fan, you look at your season and you look at the trophies you've won, and you're like, yeah, that was a good season. I've won some trophies. And as an Arsenal fan, you'll look at it and you'll see, as a Tottenham fan, you'll look at it and you'll see, okay, we haven't won any trophies, but we've played some really good football, right? But with Liverpool and United, you'll understand this. You can't have one or the other. You have to have both. You have to have good football and you have to have trophies. You guys won trophies under Jose and you were not happy. You guys won trophies under Van Gaal and you were not happy because of the style of play. You guys played some really good football under Oli. I know it went wrong, but you played some really good football under Oli. You didn't win any trophies. You couldn't have it, right? It has to be both. It has to be both.
Bro.
With clubs like Chelsea and Arsenal, you can have one or the other. But Liverpool or United, you need both.
Why?
And that's not me.
Wait,
That's not me taking a shot at you. That's like just look at the clubs. That's exactly what it is.
Actually, you know what? You're hurting right now, so you project. Let me just leave you. Because you're gonna tell me I don't get it, but it's fine. Let me just leave you. You're projecting right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
But my thing is that Shiva, I've got a feeling that your club is gonna make the exact same error that we made when we let go of Fergie, bro. From a structural standpoint, we can't be, especially in the modern day game, we can't be reliant on managers per se only, bro. There needs to also be something behind, just in case the manager leaves. Look at Real Madrid, like a club, for instance, like Real Madrid.
I think we know that, right?
Yeah.
Because when Klopp came in, he did have he had the final say on transfers, but he never had the full say on transfers, right? We had a transfer. We actually still have a transfer committee. There are people who make the non-football decisions that are not Jurgen Klopp. This isn't like where Wenger decided everything. And it's not like, okay, Ferguson didn't decide everything, but you guys lost David Gill at the same time.
Yeah, you see, that's the problem.
So that was now the entire power vacuum. I don't know if that's proper English, of the club left. And okay, it left a vacuum of power. And the guys just couldn't fill it. we're not losing. We're losing Klopp's coaching staff, but we're not losing the people who put them there,
Okay.
right?
But
Right.
So
I
there
think
is
it's
some.
tricky.
No. It's very tricky, right? So my next point is, in terms of basic probability, like just common sense, even
Yeah.
Salah was a committee signing.
Yeah.
Even Bobby was a committee signing. Even Van Dijk. I
Yeah.
think the only player that Klopp actually wanted was Thiago. I don't think there was anybody else where it was all Klopp.
Yeah.
Yeah. So probability wise, right? You're not going to find a manager that's going to be as good as Jurgen Klopp. Like who? Who's Pep Guardiola? Yes, he's as good as Jurgen Klopp. Good luck getting him at Anfield. Who else? Who?
Yeah, get Ancelotti.
And
Apparently, they're busy negotiating his contract now.
Here's my thing, right? Ancelotti was in the Premier League. Yes, he was managing Everton, but even when he was in the Premier League, he was the best of the rest. He wasn't as good as Pepper Klopp. Even when Jose was in the Premier League, he was the best of the rest. He was not as, and this is Jose. Jose is
Wait.
Jose.
Peak Jose at Chelsea.
No,
Going to be the best of the rest. Hold on.
But this is not peak Jose.
Hold on. So
This is
I'm
not
giving
peak.
you a scenario.
No. Look, peak Jose at Chelsea is the best manager in the league, right? But this is not peak Jose anymore. That's the point.
Because X went and freaking. Yeah, but it's fine. We're not going to get into that. We're not going to segue into Man United. We go on.
Just not segue.
Jose's peak was actually Inter Milan and Real Madrid. Like, make your peace with that.
Well, for me, he took me to heights that I've never been. Hold on. He took me to heights that I've never been. So for me personally, I have him at peak. Yeah, you're allowed to disagree with it. But for me,
no, I get you. I get you. He made your club relevant, right?
Yeah.
Well, okay, no, that's not entirely fair. You guys were.
You're allowed. As I said,
you guys qualified for Champions League, right? Like you didn't. Your first season in Champions League wasn't under Jose. You weren't regular Champions League qualifiers, but you qualified. You finished fourth. You finished third a couple of times. Like you were a relevant club.
Don't try and justify your shots. It's fine. This is your show. It's the Shivar show. Everybody just sit back and just take the shots. I won't fire back. I promise. Yeah. I'll just let you be, because we both know, three of us know that what you're going through, so it's understandable.
Yeah. Now, but with Chelsea, guys, it's Abramovich, bro. In my opinion,
yes,
not Mourinho. Yeah. It's Abramovich who transformed that team. His ambition trickled down and went straight to everyone, and that's why Chelsea.
And timing wise, where if you got a manager, the manager knew that if they wanted a specific talent, the owner will do everything in their power to ensure that the talent ends up as a blue. Ask Spurs, ask Man United.
With Hazard, even with Hazard, bro. Even Eden Hazard.
Who's that kid that we stole from you? Mikel. Mikel was you booked him into a hotel, and then we came through. The rest is history.
Yeah.
But I mean, there was one guy Roman couldn't get his hands on, though. There was one guy. But we won't go any further than that. There was one guy that Jose tried twice at Chelsea, once at Inter Milan, once at Real Madrid, and he wasn't going anywhere. But let's just look. He's already left. We'll talk about the person who is currently leaving.
Yeah. And then Shivar, bro, like stylistically, of course, Jurgen Klopp style of play. Like when I look at this, I'm not too sure which manager is plays a similar style as Jurgen. Maybe I'm ignorant. I'm not aware, but is there anyone in that you feel
that plays that rock and roll?
I mean, Nagelsmann was sort of similar, but he didn't do that at Bayern. He was sort of similar at Leipzig, and the Leipzig structure is sort of similar, but not the same. It's just I think what happened was, I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But again, that speaks to the Leipzig thing, right? Or the
Yeah.
RB thing more than the Leipzig thing. Klopp kind of found himself with players who had a specific skill set, and he put the hard work into them, and from there his style kind of developed. I don't think he came in and he's like, we're gonna go ginger press, because he played 4-2-3-1 at Dortmund, and then at Liverpool it was pretty much 4-3-3 since he joined, because he just, those were the players that he had, and then the signings that he made always complemented or elevated. It never replaced or completely changed. I mean, there were one or two like Shaqiri, but there was also more to change things up at the back end of the game. It was never, okay, I'm throwing the whole thing out and I'm designing a whole new system. He did tweak it here and there. Now with Trent coming on the inside, you guys know how I feel about that. But again, with me saying that and with me disagreeing with Trent coming on the inside, we're top of the league. So what do I know? Yeah.
Just celebrate the next couple of months that you have.
Exactly. Like we're just
being
gonna
in the winner's circle.
enjoy the next couple of months, and then
And then,
like for me, the more important decision isn't who's the next manager; it's where do we put his statue. And once we know where we put his statue, then we can figure out who the next manager is going to be. I'm sure the club's already on it. Like they're not getting emotional, but we're fans. That's what we do.
no.
I have an unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
Is it that Mahrez is better than Salah?
Yeah.
Is it that Mahrez is better than Klopp? Is that your unpopular opinion?
So my unpopular opinion is that Klopp just built a team that can beat Man City, and then after that, it just spiraled and he maintained.
So I don't think that's an unpopular opinion. I mean, I don't think that's it, but you're probably not totally wrong, because when you weren't here, I was explaining to the guys, I captained Salah against City in your 100-point season because for some reason I just felt like we'd win that game, and we did win that game, and maybe that's how he started. Maybe he's like, this is the best team in the land. How do I beat them?
100%.
This is how we beat them.
100%.
And now, okay, now I know how to beat them. How do I beat everybody else? And then it kind of like,
you don't need to, right? City already beats everyone else except Liverpool. So you build a team that beats City
and Spurs, and they struggled beating Spurs. Cheese.
Oh, Liverpool.
No, City.
Yeah,
especially at home.
That's a given, but you don't worry about Spurs. Spurs always find a way to shoot themselves in the foot in any case.
100%.
They can beat City, they can beat Liverpool, but then they can go ahead and lose to United. So at the end of the day, it's like what the hell? There's no need to worry about a team like that. I mean, we have a terrible record against them. We haven't won at Spurs Stadium in about, I don't know, 6 years, 8 years. We had different forms, 4 managers who struggled to win there, but we've managed to win 6 league titles. So for me, again, it's Pep went in, Klopp went in, built a team, a strategy that can beat City, and once you have that, it's very hard for other teams to cope against it. I mean, in that game, Shiva, I was listening in the car as well on my way home. You were speaking about that game. I kept in Salah as well. I mean, I know when you go to Anfield, you're not going to beat Liverpool. It's one of those records. When we go to Spurs, I always captain Son. So it's those things. You have to be honest with yourselves. It's like if you want to play Betway, and you play Betway with your heart, that you are a United supporter or a Chelsea supporter, you're not going to.
You're gonna lose your money.
You're basically taking your money and you're throwing it in the drain. You have to be logical about everything that you do, and I think that's the difference with Klopp and many other managers. It's not about trying to buy the best players or buying. I mean, yes, he did, but Nike and so forth. But it's about how do they fit into my strategy and make our team better. And at the end of the day, that's what he did. Even if you have guys at the top who are assisting in the players you bring in and the players you sign, but the philosophy on the pitch has to be clear. Guys come into the team and they understand what they need to do. And once that's clear, it doesn't really matter who you bring in, right? Because everyone's just going to fall into that puzzle and everyone's just going to understand what we need to do going forward. And then the manager has to enforce it. He has to win the change room. He has to sell the idea to the guys. Guys need to understand that we have to do it this way. If we do it any other way, I'm going to lose my job. Look at travel. So at the end of the day, it's what matters.
Yeah, I get it on selling the idea to the players. They literally have to drink the Kool-Aid. But and on the back of that, who in the players, the senior players that have proven time and time again that, as you said, Shiva, they'll run through brick walls for this manager. Who's staying behind?
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that question. Virgil van Dijk is unsure whether he will still be at Liverpool. See, there you go.
Nice one.
Guess we're gonna find out, right? Because a lot of these players, okay, a lot of these players would have signed because it's Liverpool and Liverpool does have a name, but when he joined us, our name was kind of being dragged through the mud a little bit, right? We were like where United are now, but like 2 years worse off. Right?
No, but I think you still had attracting power. You had that striker from Newcastle, that lanky
and it's like how, but it's like how United still have attracting power, but you're not getting the up and coming superstar. You're getting someone who's really good, and you can see this is a really good player, but you're not getting Mo Salah. You're not getting Virgil van Dijk. Right? When he came in, that sort of changed. And these players, they've been with him. Some of them, they've pretty much only known Klopp. They haven't really known another manager. So he came in, and this probably defines their Liverpool career.
Not even their Liverpool career. They
probably their footballing career, right? Yeah, like who has left Liverpool under Klopp and gone on to have a good career? Right?
Crickets.
Like, yeah. So
yeah, that's true.
I mean,
there's no one, bro. Even Mane, dog at Bayern, his tenure there wasn't
Mane
great.
at Bayern.
Yeah,
even Mane
wasn't
at Bayern.
great. Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe players will leave, but yeah, look, it's just I know that they won't leave without first trying everything in their power to deliver some kind of trophy at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Right. So if this is the end of our era, we're gonna do everything we can to go out on a high. And if we do go out on a high, then I mean it's better that the players leave if they feel like they can't give the new manager everything. I don't think this is Van Dijk saying, "Oh, I think Liverpool is a sinking ship" or whatever. I think this is him saying, "I'm not going to be able to give the new manager everything that I gave Jurgen Klopp, so I'm going to go." It's something. Maybe if Ferdinand left earlier, or if Vidic didn't try to captain the team as he did previously, or if Van Persie didn't think he was still the superstar when Moyes came in, maybe not having those players around actually would have helped the younger guys coming through a little bit more. I don't know. This is all still speculation, right? But if they can deliver one, I don't even want to say which trophy, but one big trophy, or one like how that season where we almost won the quad, and then they want to leave after that, we should be able to. I mean, we're gonna go into a rebuilding phase anyway. We should be able to say, yeah, guys, you gave us everything, which I mean, even at this point, I'm comfortable to say that they gave us everything. Sure, go. We
Yeah.
can't hold him back. Can't hold him back.
Yeah, but this, you see, the nice thing about your team as well, you just spoke about the rebuilding phase. At least your midfield, I mean, Soboslai is still young. Gravenberch, I'm not too sure if he's on loan or on a permanent.
No, he's a sperm. He's
Perm,
sperm.
you see, McAllister is also still young. Your front three, okay, excluding Salah. I mean, Salah is a player who, for me, I think, and outside of this system, is a regular player. Because look at him for Egypt, he's just not. Yeah, he's terrible for Egypt. I won't even hold that back. But he is a player who relies on Klopp's makeup, and essentially a lot of the players within your squad were there was a system that Klopp had for them, and that's why when they play for their national teams, they not on that level, and it is telling. And so for me, it's going to be interesting because at the end of the day, it's all about having a contingency plan. I think the best teams in the world are teams that have a contingency plan. Real Madrid stays kicking our ass week every decade. Madrid always, but even in the 2000s, they did early 2000s dominate, and that's because they constantly have a contingency plan. That to a point where I have a boy who supports Madrid, diehard Madrid fan. Even when he lost CR7, he wasn't stressing. He's like, bruh, this is Madrid, dog. This is Madrid. We always figure out things, bruh. We have a contingency plan all the time. And if you look at their team right now, Ancelotti is of course on the. He could leave, but Madrid fans are not panicking the way, for instance, Liverpool fans are panicking with Klopp leaving.
They've got that new freaking
It's the club structures.
striker.
I don't think we're
Club
panicking.
club structures, guys. It's all about club structures. Like if the club
100%.
structures are sitting properly in place, it won't be the end of the world. I think
100%.
Liverpool at a point. I mean, Liverpool. You saw that stat that they have the most youth players who will play the most minutes in the Premier League. That's structure. There's youth structure. It's been set up. Whoever comes in there just needs to build on it. You don't need to come there and all of a sudden you have to redesign things. That's what makes the job so much more difficult. Barcelona, the structures are terrible right now. Whoever comes in there is going to struggle, whether it be Marquez, whether it be Mota, whether it be Pep again. It's going to be a big problem, right?
And Barcelona's
So
a very good example because they probably had the best structure in world football.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Like-
they did with La
The
Masia.
structure of this,
Before-
lining
before-
up the refs' pockets.
Even before that, they went from Cruyff to the guy at Newcastle, Adams dude. What's Adams guy's name? He was knighted and everything. And then they went to Rijkaard, and then they went to Pep, and from Pep they got about 1,000 other managers, and they all played the same way, right?
Yeah,
Every
The
single
structures,
player.
but the structures, Shiva. Yeah, I think the under the old leadership and structure at Barcelona, they never sign a guy like Dembele. They never
Yep.
sign a guy like Coutinho
Griezmann.
at that price. They don't sign
Coutinho
Griezmann.
probably. Yeah, they don't.
No,
They don't sign
no,
Griezmann.
no.
Not
They
at
don't.
that
They
price.
don't sign. They
Right.
never sign Coutinho at that price. A midfielder like Coutinho at Barcelona at that price, they never signed Coutinho. Shiva, you know for a fact Barcelona would never. I mean, look at the players coming out of La Masia now. Which is the biggest that you can say can go into any team and start? Can go to Liverpool and start.
Pedri.
They had Oscar Mingueza. He's playing for Celta Vigo. They have.
Pedri.
They had. Pedri's not a La Masia. Pedri's not a La
Yes,
Masia
you're
player.
right. You're right. He's from Las
Pedri's not a La
Palmas.
Masia
No,
player.
you're right. You're right.
Yep.
Although
Gavi wouldn't start anyway. Gavi
no,
wouldn't start for
Gavi,
any team.
Gavi, no.
Gavi's
Who's
very,
that,
very average player.
Balde would probably start at.
Keita, no way. Start over Ever Robertson. No way.
Okay,
He never
no,
starts over.
but he would be better than both our bench options.
So for me,
Even
right,
at right back,
Balde,
like he's,
Balde is struggling. Shiva. Balde's struggling because they don't have a solid structure in defense. They don't know what to do when they have the ball in defense. They have guys. I mean, they signed Christensen for F6, man. Christensen wouldn't play for Chelsea at the current moment. He had to leave, and he had an easy route out to go and play for Barca. I mean, they have some kid now.
Alonso.
Imagine Shiva, that guy, and it brings it back
Even
to
when he
to
was
that. It's
good,
like,
he was bad.
you can't go from getting guys like Messi, like Xavi, like Iniesta, all the way dribbled down
Busquets,
to now
imagine.
Sandro Ramirez. They had Sandro Ramirez, and they're like, oh, this guy is gonna be incredible. They Oscar Mingueza. I just keep naming all these guys, and they're all nobodies. Christian Tello, when like that Christian Tello, and it's like, oh, Christian
Yeah.
Tello is gonna be. Guy can't
Yeah, I
even
remember.
get minutes at Betis, wherever he's playing now.
Even Isaac
So-
Cuenca. Remember
Isaac Cuenca. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many of these guys, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
they tried to sell La Masia as a great product, but whoever's promoting the players now and however the structures are, it's just not the one.
Same.
And
Yep.
again, because they have went and blown the money on trying to find the next Messi and trying to reignite their glory days and try to break that Madrid dominance in Europe, they've just gone worse and worse, and they've actually derailed. To be honest,
Yeah,
for me,
I probably
Very-
watched them this weekend, and yeah. There's nothing
you
there.
can't defend like that. You can't defend like that.
You can't.
And they've gone so far off the rail that I think Barcelona in 2, 3, 4 seasons will be a mid-table team. They'll be playing mid-table
If
team.
they continue,
We see it a lot. Yeah, we see it a lot because they won't be able to spend money. There's no way they can keep doing this in terms of getting players for free and offering them these wages that they're getting from these clubs and asking them to pay their way to get into the team. I mean, bro, they have Oriol Romeu to replace Busquets. Make it make sense to me, right? I mean,
That's a fall.
you have one of the greatest players ever in a position, and now you have
Yeah.
Oriol Romeu who couldn't even crack it at Southampton. So, I mean, they tried to get that Traore from Wolves. He couldn't even start at Wolves, and he was the only.
X's favorite.
And he came from the
X's favorite
academy.
Sprinter.
Yeah, he's an academy player. They had Nelson Semedo, the guy from Everton as well, the midfielder, who they got from Portugal.
Oh, thingy.
Who can't even
Gomez.
I know which one you're talking about.
Gomez, Andre Gomez.
I like
Yeah.
Gomez. I like Gomez.
Yeah, they got him
and
from
I'm a
Andre
Liverpool
Gomez.
fan. And I'm a
I don't
Liverpool
know
fan,
him,
and I
bro.
like Gomez. He
got him
doesn't
from-
have any kind of athletic ability. But
Everton centre back Jeremina was also at Barca.
Yeah. But
He was signed after the World Cup, hoping that he's going to be. It's
was
just keep
linked with
going from
United.
bad
I was
signing to bad signing to bad signing, and now
So,
they're in a situation where they won't be able to sign. They won't be able to sign players who are looking to end their career. It has to be a free.
In
the
that
old Barca,
era.
the old
Yeah,
Barca,
go continue.
you could see that they can outscore you. So them conceding goals, like 3 goals in a match, was fine. It was acceptable because they'll concede 3 and then they will come and smash 6. But this one, they don't.
No, but you'd hardly see that.
No, but I'm
This is
saying
the first time
when it does
Barca
happen-
has conceded 5 goals
But
at home
also, to your
in
point,
about
like,
15 or 16 years, bro.
First,
it wasn't even
first game of the
scoring 3.
season.
It was like getting 3 touches of the ball. That was
Yep.
enough to make them angry to hit you for 6.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
that Pep, I think it was Pep, or it might have been the manager after him. There was a point where they fielded an 11 of only academy graduates. So everyone in that 11 I don't know if it was a starting 11. I think it wasn't. I think Sergio Roberto came on for I don't know who it would have been, someone who went off. And
Danny
then they
Alves,
had
probably.
11. I think he was still a midfielder at that time. And they had 11 academy graduates on the pitch in a league
They
game.
can never do that now.
And
Yeah, they can never do that now.
now, yeah. and they were
Nah,
the
they're
best
trying
run
to
club
sell-
in the
they're-
world, and now they're
trying to
not.
sell us
Now they're
that
the
kid
worst
now.
run club
What's
in the
his
world.
name? Who's that kid that his name starts with an L? Sorry, I just forgot his name now. Freaking
one?
hell.
Lamine, what's his name? Something like that.
Lamine Yamal.
Yamal.
Lamine
Yamal.
Yamal. Yeah.
Yeah.
The kid is decent, but everyone is now calling him the second coming. Give the kid like a season or two to settle
Yeah,
into
like
his
how they gave
role.
Ansu Fati
Yeah.
the number 10 shirt.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
do
Like they're,
that.
they're
So-
desperate. They're
It's
desperate.
desperation, bro. The club is at the very desperate points. And for me, whoever comes in there, who isn't strong enough mentally, because Barca is the expectation is to be at the level of Real Madrid, and they're never gonna be there in the next 3-4 years.
Nah, Madrid is gone for the next coming seasons, gents. Let's just be
So
honest.
and again, right? It's philosophy. If you don't
Yeah.
come there, you imprint your philosophy. Look at Girona, dude. Girona, there's no star players at Girona.
There's no exactly.
Team effort.
The coach has a clear strategy
Yeah.
and mentality how we're going to go play. If we get beat 5-0 the way we play, good. But next week we play again like that, and another team might get 5-0. Right?
Mm.
Look at Xabi Alonso. He went and took Bayer. No one never thought Bayer Leverkusen would be like this. Bayer
He's been
Leverkusen is
really
incredible.
good.
You watch
Bayer
those
Leverkusen are
highlights and you're
essentially
like,
the Spurs of Germany, where they're always like look like they're about
Yeah.
to do something, and then they're 3-0 up at halftime and lose 5-3. That's
But
what
at
Bayer
least-
Leverkusen were.
But
but he's turned it around. He's turned it around so much. And again, right, Shiba, it teams that play possession football. Possession football isn't about keeping the ball because you want to keep the ball. It's a
You're gonna
defensive
take
tactic.
the opponent.
If the opponents can't get the ball, then they can't score goals against you. That's how you set your teams up defensively. Then teams start to be worried. Hey, if we try to go win that ball high up the pitch, we create a space behind them because we have really good players behind who can get in and score
pass.
goals.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
and
I mean,
to that point, I'm gonna say there was a certain blonde-haired German who didn't give a fuck about that, and who did go and win the ball high up the pitch.
no, that's fine, but not at Leverkusen.
Not everyone can do that.
Leverkusen aren't beaten.
Yeah.
Leverkusen aren't beaten in Germany. They have Tuchel, and he's 6s and 9s as well, because he doesn't have a strategy or a philosophy in terms of what he wants to do. He gets all these big jobs and all these big contracts, but he's never convinced me as someone who can dominate world football. No way.
You and I were speaking about this in a previous, and you were the only person who agreed with me when I said Tuchel is very good at countering the opposition, but he doesn't have his own style of play.
He's
And
like an
I
Ollie.
think the first time I said this, I think you're the only person who agreed with me on that. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you remembered.
Yeah.
I mean, he came in at Chelsea. He had a great record against Pep because he wasn't trying to play better than Pep or beat him. He just tried to find a way to win those games.
He gave
And he was very good at
that. I can't. He gave me Champions League. I can't speak ill of the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, I mean, you wouldn't speak ill of that other guy. Who's that other guy? Who gave
The
you Champions
schoolboy.
League as well.
With his braces and his tie. What's his name?
Which one? Di
The
Matteo.
schoolboy, man. He had his braces.
Yeah.
Di Matteo, yes.
Di Matteo.
Yeah, bro.
No, Di Matteo was given. Yeah, Di Matteo did a miracle there. No one expected him in the final, and he delivered.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't speak ill of him.
But I mean, in sort of wrapping up, what I'm trying to say is Klopp has a signature. That's what it is. And as a coach, you'll always be known by your signature, not by. No one remembers Tuchel. Yes, he won the Champions League. No one will remember that.
Nah,
at the end of the day.
Chelsea,
We'll know.
I get what you're saying. I get you.
We couldn't remember Di Matteo right now.
Nah, I've given you guys too much leeway. Now you're taking a piss. Tuchel is
So
going to be remembered
what
at
he's
the
trying to say is, yes, he will be remembered at Chelsea, but
For winning
the
the
streets
Champions League.
have already forgotten him.
Yeah.
I think I'm the streets also, and I do remember the man. That's all that matters.
Nah.
Because he won the Champions League, and that's all he
Thank
won
you.
for you guys.
Yeah.
No, yeah. That's a
That's
trophy we didn't have.
it's the only great thing. He didn't bring you a great player. He brought you guys who you guys have offloaded, All of the players he brought in, you guys have offloaded.
But I think
Yeah.
that's more a Todd versus
Yeah.
Abramovich thing rather than
Yeah.
a
Yeah,
Tuchel thing. I
yeah,
think Todd just wants to get
Nah.
every last.
End of the day, any Chelsea fan will tell you they miss the Russian sugar daddy. It ends there.
yeah. But Shiva, bro,
Structure,
like for
CK,
me,
again.
Hmm?
structure.
Yeah. Yes, it's
That's the
yes,
thing with
it's
United. That's what Ineos are trying to do. And I'm not saying I'm not getting gassed up about it, but what the signing of the COO from City is the right step. These are the things that I want to see because structure has been lacking at our club. And that's
Are
one of
you
the
sure,
reasons
X,
why.
you want to start speaking about Man United
Yeah.
in the 5th minute?
No. I'm just saying we're talking about structure, yeah, and that's what Ineos are sorting out at this particular moment is the structure within the club.
Structurally, I
Yeah.
think your manager
Yeah,
lacks the self-awareness of
yeah.
his use of words. Okay.
I just think
Yeah,
he's way
well,
too arrogant.
No, hold on.
yeah.
This my view on him saying it's an internal matter and I will handle it. He could have easily said the player is injured and that it ends there. Anyone
It hasn't.
asks,
But
the
you see,
player's
he
injured.
can't say that because of what he did to Sancho. Because then Rashford
Yeah,
will tweet and say, "I'm not injured," and then
100%. You see what I'm saying? Shiva's right, bro. It's because
No, but
he's
like
the one.
the
From a
one
man
thing
management standpoint, he's the one who's caused this mess for himself. I mean, we've all seen evidence. You see, with Sancho, there really isn't concrete evidence that homie isn't training well. With Rashford, there's evidence that homie went out with his homies and was turning up. It's there. You see what I'm saying? There's
no,
pictures
I
of it,
think
there's videos of it. So that's the
I
difference
don't
between
I don't
yeah,
want to speak on Rashford, but like Rashford is not like a world class player. He's a good player, and it ends there. I think this season is showing it.
he's a
Okay,
pass mark, man.
the
He's another pass
Eric
mark.
Eric, the one thing that he irritates me, he's got this thing of defaulting to getting the media to assist him in persecuting his players, his own players. And it should be an inside job. It should be from the word go. It should be internal. And that's what he shouldn't be using words like it's an internal matter. He should say the player's injured. Anyone asks, the player's injured. Take. Who's the minister of sports in South Africa? When he was interviewed and they asked him whatever was going on, he just said, "I've just arrived. I've just arrived." That's all he has to say. Fucking sound like a broken record if he has to say the player's injured. How do you
Like
know the
pleading the
extent of the
fifth.
injury? The player's injured, and that's it.
Yeah.
but
But
here's the thing,
no.
right? Here's the thing, right? Rashford going out in the first place, that would never happen at Liverpool or at
I
City.
can understand it. I'll tell you
Like
why.
they wouldn't even consider it.
No, I can understand it. Okay, so the players have been going through a period, which is like your December period, where they were playing probably like every 2-3 days. Okay, so some downtime is needed. He thought, he being Eric, he thought, let me give the players thingy some downtime. They'll report back for duty and then we'll continue. Because I'm not gonna lie, that gets you some brownie points with the players. Not realizing that he is fucking himself in the ass. So he's sorry,
Yeah.
that came out wrong.
It's there. It's on the internet now. It's there forever.
No, so I can
There
understand that
forever,
part.
dog.
Nah, I can understand that part where he's like, yo, these are his players to end of the day. And he, as a father figure, he's getting some brownie points that, hey guys, some downtime, go out with your families and have like 3-4 days. But the discipline, yeah, that's I don't want to speak on Rashford. My focus is on Ten Hag and the way that he's handling his situation. Because I think also you need to, I don't know if you guys have seen, Rashford's brother, who's his agent, reported at Carrington today, where he went and he said they're just here to address another incident that needs to be handled. So not the incident of him not being present at training, but not showing up in time, but there's another issue that apparently needs to be addressed. Like that in itself it speaks of like a proper fuck up.
The fact
Yeah.
that the agent thinks he has a say over the manager, like that will not happen under Ferguson, right?
100%.
That does
It will never
not
happen
happen under
under
Ferguson.
Klopp.
We
It
had
will
a
never
guy.
happen under thingy. Man
We had a
City.
guy, Klavan.
Dude,
Klavan.
Klavan. Yeah, I
His
remember him, the
agent trying
defender.
to try to tell him that no, you're not going to get game time here, and try to speak against Klopp, and Klavan sacked him.
Yeah. Indeed, bro. Yeah. Of course, Chris was
Well,
also asking
There'd be
exactly
some
It
there'd
was.
be some hair dryers involved.
You would have flew
Someone
something.
would be shipped off to
But
Italy.
it's
Hit
happening
you
now.
throw a soccer boot at him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter whether
We'll never hear that agent's name again. Mysteriously
Yeah.
disappear.
But
Hey,
also, Ronaldo's agent, didn't he come through at Carrington to go right ahead and discuss what was going on with his player?
Was that under Ragnick?
No,
Or
this
was
is
Ronaldo?
just
Was it
before
under
he
Ferguson?
left. This is now under Eric. Just before he left, his manager showed up at Carrington and they wanted to speak on what was going on. And that was the sign that he was going to leave. But Rashford, right now, he's not performing. So who's gonna buy him?
Exactly.
I'd understand if he's sitting with 25 goals this season, where you give him some leeway that, hey, listen, he's my top goal scorer. So
What makes you think he'd forfeit those wages? You saw what Newport
Yeah.
wanted.
Oh, that's a lot of wages, bro. I think it's 400K a
Is
week.
he on
Hey, we
400?
playing. Yeah, we're playing with
Yeah.
money, bro. Man United.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's a
It's
lot of
just-
money. And you won't
I
get.
think
You won't
he's
get those
third,
wages
third,
any-
third behind Kevin and Haaland.
And Haaland.
Yeah,
Can
so-
you imagine?
So now there's word that Ten Hag might fine him 2 weeks' wages. That's close to $1 million. But
Slap on the wrist, bro.
is Klopp? Sorry, not Klopp. Is Eric going to regain the change room? Who I feel he's losing slowly but surely.
Not even
But
slowly.
yeah,
He's lost it, bro. Newport, the team we beat 4-2 yesterday. Did you see how horrible we were
I
against
enjoyed
the
that game.
team?
I
No,
enjoyed
because we
it.
were horrible. That's why.
You were, but there was
That's-
never. There was no. You were horrible, but there was never a thought in my head that you're going to lose this game. It was entertaining because you guys
But
were
still,
pathetic.
no. For
Yeah, but
you as
like,
a Chelsea
come on,
fan,
like
it was
you
entertaining.
can't.
Not
United
Yeah.
just have too much quality. Like we can say all of the things we've said about them, but they just simply have too much quality for Newport.
Not
The
too
fact
much.
that you had to play,
Not
okay,
use the words. Use the words.
they had more quality.
yeah, more
Yeah,
quality.
then
they had
Newport.
they had quality, whereas Newport
More
didn't.
quality than Newport. Yes,
Yes,
thank you.
yes.
You see, that's what I like, Shiva, using your words.
Words.
Jeez, dog. Yo, jeez.
I mean,
facial
I
expressions,
just shared with you, Tony, a story on the WhatsApp. I mean, this has been something Kyle Walker has been hiding for the longest time, and it's only coming out now because he wants it to come out. I mean, there's ways to handle. There's ways to handle everything, right? Especially in a club, big clubs. I'm pretty sure there's many things going on at other clubs. I mean, freaking Diaz's father got kidnapped, but it was
Yeah.
spoken about, and it never became such a whole thing. And the club is now in turmoil because of specific incidents created by a player. But as you can see here, Pep had a chat with Kyle Walker. It was a personal story. They went in the chats, and it never came out of that first discussion in the season that this is the reason why Kyle Walker wanted to leave. Kyle Walker waited the right time to come and announce it, and he went and revealed the story that he's a chama boy and he's been managing his affairs in private. But again, something like this, once it happens in any other club, it becomes a big thing. It messes up the way the club or the way the player performs. I mean, Kyle Walker's been shit this season. I'm not gonna lie, but
Yeah.
he's still our captain. He's still our leader on the pitch, and that sort of thing could have really derailed how the fans see him, and also how his teammates see him. So sometimes
there's a
you need to
song.
manage it better.
There's a song by Wale. I can't remember the name of the album that song is from. The title of the song, I think it's song number 3, if not 4, is Need to Know. What the song is about is sometimes you just need to keep things on a need to know basis. And
Yeah.
Eric, you need to listen to that song, I think. But anyway.
Yeah.
Because
Anyway,
Rashford plays shit even if he doesn't go to the club. So just freaking let him go to the club, bro.
yeah, 100%. He's not performing in any way, shape, or form, dog. And
Doesn't matter, man.
yeah. And you see,
Nah, but I
cheese,
think
bro. Like I like the fact that we spoke about structure because I just feel like a lot of people, this thing of speaking about the coach only. Look at even in the PSL when you look at Chiefs, you look at Orlando Pirates in comparison to the Sundowns. It's structure, bro. It's structure.
There's a
That's the
reason the
reason why
big clubs stay
Sundowns
the big
stays.
clubs, right?
And right now
Yep.
we're sleeping, but a team from Cape Town right now called Stellenbosch is coming. If we don't sort our shit out, I'm telling you, bro, Stellenbosch will overtake us because they are sorting out
Structure,
their
bro.
structure.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. And that's why,
Yep.
for me, hence I say with United, it's good to see that we first starting off with structures. You know, and I'm not saying
That's a good
that,
example. It's a good example
yeah,
that you made,
we're
yeah.
starting off with our
Because if
structure.
you
I'm not seeing us linked with players. Of course, yeah, I saw on Benzema and Olise, but I know that's not gonna happen. But right now,
remember when
we're getting in people at the top to sort out our structure because that's where we are struggling. And at least once that is established, then a person can start being optimistic, you know, especially when we bring on loan players. Look at City, Oscar Bob. No one knew who that kid is. Liverpool, there's so many guys that Liverpool have, like even
McConnell
see,
debuted this weekend,
listen
and
to
he
that,
assisted the
bro.
first goal from
Listen to
defensive
look at
that.
midfield.
Bradley as well, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
And I
Bradley
mean,
was
when
really an unknown, but I take your point.
yeah. I mean, X, remember when SuperSport United won 3 league titles with structure?
Structure.
They were so hard to beat.
They had the
Every
best.
game
They
had
had
a
the best
good coach and
development. They had the best development, and they were recruiting only the best of the best.
And that's how you.
But it was
That's how
unknown
you
cats
make
like
it.
Pelembe. I never knew who Pelembe was until I saw him at
Yes.
Sport. Katleron Pela as well. A lot of these guys. It's structure, bruh. Structure takes you far, fam. It really,
Unlike
really
Pirates,
does.
we sign 6 wingers. Every season we sign 6 wingers.
Dude.
But our problem is scoring goals. And then you're like, what's going on? But hey, sorry, I forgot. Ivan Koza might be watching.
Ivan and Danny, they're watching, and you're busy
they're watching.
talking ill here.
Hey, I don't want to get a hit again. But Joshua, we're
We're
crying with you, my brother. We're crying with you.
It was his birthday
I
this
mean,
past weekend.
If God listens to my prayers, you get Steven Gerrard.
Okay, can I ask you something, Cheese? Do you feel like and it's probably you're not the right person to ask this question to, but do you feel like with Klopp leaving, your chances of winning a trophy has now gone up? And you're not the right person because you guys are favorites for every single trophy you're in, right?
Yeah.
But do you now think that with him going, the chance of you being upset in any one of those has now decreased? Maybe that's a better way to phrase it.
I'm actually worried, Shiva, because I don't know if you saw a statement Pep made and said Klopp made him better. He made him try to be better and to be better. I think we lose Klopp, and I think Pep might even say, yeah, well, it's starting to get boring. Either the league becomes too easy because there's less competition, or he just loses that drive to keep improving the team, and then you start falling wayside in Europe.
I said at the start of the season, your team does look like they've lost a bit of that bite, but that was obviously you've won the treble. So like, what do they have to prove?
Yeah, and
it could get worse.
But I don't, and again, Shiva, I never said it's the bite. Right? For me, it's always the fatigue. It's very hard after expending so much of your energy to get a treble and compete on all fronts, that you then have to come and do it again next season, right? Especially in a World Cup season. And people always forget that we're just coming from a 22 World Cup, and the season just came in and it's just quick. But
I don't know who
we
said
lose a lot of.
this. I don't know who said this, but like it's stuck on my head. He said when you train with faster athletes than you, like if you're into running and you train
Just
with
for
faster athletes than you end up being fast.
Pharrell Williams, yeah.
If your mentality
You have the right.
is
So
strong enough,
that's
right?
that's what happened between Pep and Klopp, where
Yep.
it was the best of the best going against the best of the best, and that makes you stronger and faster. That's just
Of
the
course,
long and short.
that's what happens. That's what happens in training as well, right? I mean, if you're a striker and you're training against the best defenders, you
And the
want to
best
be
keeper.
you end up being better, right?
And the best keeper.
Agreed. Ellison and Van Dijk. I don't know why you're putting your hand up. So
Because he's a
because you
keeper.
suck. No, because you suck, Shiva. This guy is like a sack of coal.
Wait. Can you settle this?
Onana. Sikhe Onana.
Who here has
The
seen
end
Pep?
is for Nana.
Wait,
Sikhe Nana.
Hold on, cheese.
That is an insult, bruh. Yo.
Wait.
No, but just not. I don't know. Don't do this. You're not doing this thing, bro.
Sixley, you're such an easy target for these shots. Like you do it to yourself.
So unnecessary, bro. So unnecessary. I mean, look, Nunes, the longer he plays against Van Dijk, he'll get better. I mean, he will improve in terms of the aspects that he is. I mean, the more Variol plays with better guys in midfield, the more you improve in his passing and reading of the game. And I think he's already getting there. He's already getting better. But Anthony's playing against Evans and Maguire in training, and it's easy for him probably in training. He's probably the top goal scorer in training. But now it comes to the pitch and he's playing against real defenders with actually two legs rather than one. And it's a different story, right?
Please, after this, please share that the line about that from Football Troll, where they said Anthony dedicated the goal to
Maradona
Pele.
from 2002 to Pele, yeah. But to answer Krizo, I definitely agree, right? And the reason why Klopp is a better adversary because Pep plays more attacking football, right? It's very easy to sit there in Mourinho's glory and defend for 90 minutes, and then you go and you score on a counter attack in the 98th because you train your guys just to run most of the time. But then you come against teams and we bring it back to some of the things that other teams struggle against. You come to teams where you now need to create chances, and now you can't do that because you've set up your team to sit and to find gaps from teams when they try to attack you, and then eventually that creates a problem.
But I think also between Klopp and Pep, there's a level of respect there. With Mourinho and Pep, there was no respect there.
But Mourinho doesn't respect anyone. Mourinho doesn't respect anyone. He doesn't respect anyone.
He kills me when he took on Arsene Wenger, poor old accountant. Yep. And then he made him sweat balls. Mourinho
He's a specialist in failure.
Specialist in failure, bro.
And then he beats him 6-0 following game week. Oh my days.
Who was he talking about? Who was he talking about where he said, "Yes, I was rude, but I was rude to an idiot"? Who was he talking about?
That's that guy, bro. That guy's something else. Something else, bro.
Something else, bro. Yo. And you,
look,
Shiva,
for me, it's. I think it's tough, but it's like I really like Jose. They only really competed for 2 seasons. When they were at Barca and Madrid, I don't think okay, this is not a shot. I don't think Mourinho's United or Mourinho's Spurs were competing with Pep City. I don't think that also that Inter Milan against Barcelona, everyone goes around that, but that was just 2 games. So I think just because it was those 2 seasons and it was so early in Pep's career, where if you look at Klopp, he beat Pep's Bayern Munich and then he beat Pep City, and he was just always a constant thorn from Pep totally dominating a country. That's why I would go Klopp. But yeah, it's not so cut and dry. Like you say Jose respects no one, but I really respect Jose. I think he's class. I think he's up there with Klopp and Pep.
No, you can respect
well,
him, but he won't. He doesn't
he
respect
won't.
you.
Yeah, he's not going to respect me. He does respect my club, though. He seriously respects my club, even though he comes with all the banter and stuff. Like when I heard him talking about Liverpool, I didn't know he respected us that much. But yeah, it's Klopp and Pep, right? They've been the managers the last 8-9 years of the league. It hasn't really been anybody else. I saw someone say that it was similar to Messi or Ronaldo, where everyone else was kind of just playing for third place. Like every other manager who came to the league was trying to be the third best manager in the league after those 2, and it was no matter who it was, you knew they were going to be third best.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, gents, I don't know. I think we've been shooting for quite some time now, but this was a very interesting conversation. Thank you once again. And Shava, don't stress, bro.
You're gonna walk alone.
In Zulu, we say Guzolunga. We say Guzolunga. It means things will
He's gonna
get
walk
better
alone.
time. But it all, like we said, it all depends on your structure. This is where I wanna see if you guys have structure. If you guys don't have, you're gonna end up like my club and sXizie N's club.
Stevie G.
You know what? We're not comfortable in going into matches. We're not confident when we go into games. And yeah, it is what it is. Even if you give me that facial expression, sXizie N, we are all what do they say in High School Musical? We all in this
together.
You and I, Chief. And it is what it is. But guys,
so
please
I remember you guys playing a Champions League final
to plan for.
Oh,
cup final.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? Go do some planning. Go do it. Go do it.
You guys are gonna lose.
It's fine. Go plan it. Go dream about it. Go to Wembley, see the big stadium, have a good outing, have some fun.
Walk around the pitch.
Walk around the pitch.
Yeah.
You get the badge. You get a nice silver medal at the end.
That's so true.
Now the men's are calling. That's why I say he's saga. There's no way this guy can save goals when he drinks so much.
Shivar, I think you also you came to watch me play.
No, I didn't.
Okay, that's good.
I haven't had the
X.
pleasure. Had the pleasure.
Did you come through and watch you play when we won the league? The Thursday Wednesday league.
Why are you referring to that one? Wasn't there 13-0 or something?
Yeah, and there was a period where you guys gained a promotion. And the teams there at the top were.
I know. Like once you play the top league, the top league doesn't mess around. It's old.
That's where we play as adults. That's what I'm saying. This guy.
I keep on
William Okpara.
I keep on inviting you. You keep on playing Betway.
Now there's money. I play with the guys ex-PSL players now.
That's why I play now.
In our indoor team.
I come through on Tuesday 5 o'clock. I'll send you
I'm done in football now. sXizie N.
He's got a treble. He doesn't need football anymore.
I've had my fair share.
There's Shivar, you froze like Klopp just as he leaves you. But anyway, it's fine. Let's call it gents.
I know, gents. Thank
My
you
guy,
so much.
your shots are not like they're not hitting the way you think they're hitting.
No, but I'm very cautious. I'm very cautious that you're very emotional today. Like I could tell the first 10 seconds of the call that you are very emotional. So that's why I'm like, you know what? At first you're a friend, and then you are a football lover. So that's why I'm like I'm very wary of what I say to you right now because
Look,
you're very touchy.
It's cool. I will repay the favor. You've shown a lot of patience with me, so I will repay the favor if Frank Lampard ever takes over your club again.
I'm glad you noticed the patience though.
Yeah. Hey, all right, gents. Hey, enough with the banter. Guys, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Help a brother out. This is sXizie Sport, and we out. Peace.
Shop, chance. Shop, shop.
Cheers, guys.